following podcast contains references to the consumption of alcohol. If you are not of legal drinking age, please do not consume alcohol. Also, if you are of legal drinking age, please drink responsibly. And welcome to Rhetorical Magic Cocktail Hour. My name is Matthew, and my favorite butter brand is Kerrygold.
And I'm Ryan, and I like to live deliciously. And my favorite butter brand is Land O'Lakes, I guess, because Matthew took mine.
Sorry about that. So this is a podcast.
Thank God, I was about to whisper. Can we stop whispering? I don't think I can keep that up for a whole episode.
Unless secret ASMR episode in October. ASMR-toberfest. This is a podcast where we have a drink and we try to be succinct about various topics.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we do a goof intro and I lose all space and time.
I do want to say this might be our first goof intro.
I feel like the parks one where we did our park ranger names. That was kind of a goof. And we did what's that video where the girls are like, I'm whatever queen of whatever.
Oh, yeah. That was MCR, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. If it wasn't, I would be very surprised. But yeah, this is a show where we have a drink, try to be succinct, and talk about butter. So Ryan, when you're churning butter,
yes.
I don't know. I've never made butter in my life.
I actually have made butter.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. I've made goat butter.
Is it as laborious as I feel like it is in my head?
Yeah, it's not great. We definitely, my parents have, a hand churn.
Okay.
That you,
so it wasn't like the...
No, I could not the up and down stick, I could not do that. So we start
That's
with,
what it's called, the up and down stick. Gotta go to the old up and down stick and get us some butter.
It's like a hand crank, and it takes a hot minute. I think,
but is it worth it?
Oh, fresh butter is so good, dude. Honestly.
Does it blow Kerrygold out of the water?
Yeah.
Oof, that's a big promise there.
It's so good, and you have to salt it correctly, but fresh butter on warm. So at the start of the pandemic, I think I made it 2 weeks in my tiny apartment by myself, and many other adults, I went and stayed with my parents for a hot bit, which I feel kind of relates to the movie.
Butter and living with your parents. That's what this movie's about.
But so I went to stay with them, and there was definitely a period of time where my parents were very into let's do this thing, let's do that. And it felt very Little House on the Prairie-esque at moments. We had modern day appliances, but I had gotten up and I helped my mom with chores one weekend. My parents have a farm and they have goats. I helped milk and stuff. And when we came in, it was 12:30, 1-ish, and my dad had just made a soup.
Who even does that?
he had, like, made a soup, and then he's like, well, Lauren said she was baking bread this morning, so it just felt like the thing to do. And so, like, my sister had, like, baked bread in the morning. My dad made this soup, and then, like, at 2 p.m., we just had soup and bread, and it just felt very, like, oh no, this is end time. But in, like, a wholesome way.
Wholesome end times.
Yeah, it was... Yeah. It was precious.
So this is a podcast where we have a drink and try to be succinct. What are you drinking today, Ryan? That was a good face, so I know it's good.
I am drinking pumpkin beer. Okay, the aftertaste is not bad. I think
the initial sip was just a lot.
Yeah. I do appreciate that it doesn't say, like, a pumpkin lager or, like, there's no, it's just beer. It's just beer with pumpkin.
It's like when you get a bottle that just says red wine. It's like, okay, but but what kind?
But there's types, bud. This will probably be a really good beer bread, but currently I'm drinking this. What are you drinking, Matt?
I am drinking a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, handcrafted ale.
Is that an IPA?
It's a PA. It doesn't say it's an India Pale Ale, but I could not tell you the difference.
Oh man, hell yeah!
It's fine quality. It's fine quality and made with the purest ingredients.
Honestly, I feel like IPAs, for a time there, were kind of like the twilight of beers. Mm-hmm. They got a lot of flack for not really, like, they're an okay beer. Are they the best? Probably not. But everybody was into them, and it was the popular thing, so it quickly became the popular thing to hate.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about Twilight this episode, though.
Nope.
We are keeping up with the spooky supernatural theme, though, and we are talking about my favorite subject, which is...
the VVitch.
The VVitch.
The VVitch.
The VVitch. I love her. Would you like me to synopsize the film?
If you can. We watched it real late last night. It's only an hour and a half movie, but I feel like a lot happens, but really nothing happens. It's kind of like Midsummer in that way, where things happen, but then also not that much happens.
Yes. So, in the beginning,
God created the earth.
Really great hats.
Yes.
So I think that the movie starts with this family being on...
I think that the movie starts. Sorry, continue. That exemplifies our synopsizing abilities very well. It's just like, I think it started this way.
This family is on trial because he preaches too much. I'm a little confused as to why they get exiled.
I don't think it's super clear, but I think he's just a little too into Jesus, and everybody else is just like, dude, just chill.
But anyway, the family is like, alright, well, screw you and your glorious hats. We're out of here.
We're taking our own beautiful hats and leaving.
And so they travel what feels like a long time, but they're close enough. They're only like a day away. But I feel like it was trying to set it up to where, like, they were looking for this land for like a couple of weeks.
Well, I mean, you can look in like a couple square yards for a while.
That's fair.
If you're doing it right. If you're looking for where God wants you to settle, it can take a bit.
His wife is pregnant.
Hmm?
She is.
Is she?
Yeah. In the very beginning. Did more time pass than I assumed?
I thought they had the baby from the start. Okay. Apparently I didn't. Apparently I wasn't paying attention at the beginning.
So, like, they had a baby.
Well, I guess that would make sense because they basically have a farm.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have happened overnight. Okay, yeah.
They find the perfect land. Everything is great. They have a baby. Months pass, and they have, like, kind of established their farm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the most established, but you can tell that they're getting there.
Yeah.
The mom sends the baby with the eldest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Named...
Who's played by friend of the show, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes. Who takes the baby and plays peekaboo near the forest? Not in the forest. They have a healthy distance.
On the hinterland of the forest.
There we go.
I don't think I used that right.
And when she closes her eyes to do, "Where's the baby?" she opens them up and she's like, "Oh shit, where's the baby?"
Where's the baby?
Baby got snatched. We don't really know by what. Like, we don't see who grabs it. We don't see anything around the girl. There's just, she closes her eyes, there's baby, then she closes her eyes, opens them, there's no baby.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get, like, a spooky serpentine shot into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Where you see the baby, and you see a creepy old woman. Kind of. She's not really in focus. And then you hear the most horrendous sound in the history of ever, which can only be described as grinding up a baby.
Yep.
And it was horrendous, and I wasn't a fan. The witch does her sacrifice to look younger? Is that, like, the point of it?
I think so, because I think the next time we see her, she's young witch.
Yeah. Horrible moment. I assume, like, more time has passed. Because I feel like the farm is more established. But it also, I think that they maybe said it had been like a week and they quit looking for this baby.
Yeah, I want to say the dad is like, it's been a few weeks, he's gone.
It's been 1 week since
you
saw my baby. That's not funny. This is a very serious film.
It is.
It's creepy. The boy and the dad go out into the woods to, like, check traps.
Mm-hmm.
To no avail. There's not really anything. It looks like the farm is not doing great. I think the dad talks to the son about how crops aren't gonna do well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the corn's got rot.
Mm-hmm. That moldy bad corn. The creepiest twins in the history of existence. Like, come running out singing a song about a goat. Whose name is Black Phillip.
Mm-hmm.
And the mom blames the eldest daughter for the baby disappearing, and also the cup, like her father's cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the dad sells the cup.
Yeah, the dad sells the cup, but he doesn't say anything, which doesn't sound like much of a righteous man to me.
He's not a righteous dude.
What a heathen. And then the next thing I remember, the girl is at the river cleaning clothes.
The dad's clothes, yeah.
The boy comes over and, like, fetches water. And then the girl twin comes and says that Anya Taylor-Joy is a witch. And then she, like, plays into the narrative and is like, yes, and I'll witch you too. Like, I'll curse you. Rawr.
Yeah.
Totally realistic sibling banter. In Puritan times. And then, boy wakes up and sneaks to the barn. He's gonna take a horse and I guess check traps. Do they make it clear what he's gonna do? Is he just looking for his little brother? The baby?
I think he's going to look... Is he going into town for some reason? To get apples or something?
I don't know.
Because Anya Taylor-Joy at one point is just like, I miss apples. And I think he wants to get apples for her.
Yeah. Sorry, my cat jumped. It scared me.
Jump scare.
But Anya Taylor-Joy goes with him. Her name's like what? Thomason?
Thomason? Yeah. Thomason!
Thomason and Craig? What's the boy's name?
Caleb?
I like Craig.
Dan the Donut Man?
Thomason and Craig go into the forest and their dog, like, chases a rabbit, which the rabbit shows up a lot.
Yeah, because the dad tries to shoot the rabbit when
and
they're
almost
hunting.
Loses an eye.
Yeah.
And then the rabbit shows up again. And then the rabbit was in the barn at one point. Anyway, dog chases rabbit. They have a dog. It chases the rabbit. Craig goes after the... Craig goes after the dog. Something spooks the horse that they stole, and Thomason falls off and, like, passes out, I guess, for a minute.
She, like, hits her head and it knocks her out, I think.
Yeah. Which I feel like I would also get... Doesn't matter. Anyway. Craig stumbles through the woods and finds a creepy cave, presumably the same witch that killed and bathed in the blood of his baby brother.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. You say creepy. I say quaint.
I'm gonna stick with creepy.
I would live there. I mean, the woman's creepy. The house I would live in.
It's not a house. It's a cave. It's a hole in some rocks.
It's like a hobbit house.
Okay.
There's an eaves. It's a house. It was vaping. She was vaping in the house.
Craig finds this creepy old witch, and she kisses him.
Mm-hmm. Because he's a horny little boy.
Yeah, he's a wild one. And then he kind of just disappears. Then they find Thomason, or she runs back to her family and is like, Craig's gone, what do we do?
Because her parents are looking for them, and they put the twins on a little baby leash.
Fucking baby leash. Oh, man. Okay. Craig goes missing, and then, like, a few days pass, and then Craig... Like, it's, like, raining and cold, and Thomason goes outside and finds him naked in the yard or something.
Yeah, I don't remember why she goes outside. But
the witches made her do it.
He's, like, leaning against the fence,
Mm-hmm.
like, just whacked out.
Yeah. And then Thomason starts helping with chores again next day as the mom, like, tries to, like, take care of Craig. And the creepy twins are in the barn with her, singing again to the goat. And she's milking the other goat that's not Satan.
Mm-hmm.
And
spoilers.
And blood comes out. Which, when I saw that, as someone who lives on a farm, lived on a farm, I was like, oh no, that goat has mastitis.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember you being like, oh, that goat. I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. I was just being spooked.
And then the Mercy, is that the little girl's name?
Mercy and Jonas are the twins.
My name is Jonas.
I'm a real creepy kid. My best friend is a goat.
But Mercy's, like, yelling about how she's gonna tell on Thomason for being a witch, even though Thomason isn't a witch.
Mm-hmm.
And then do they all get just like called into Craig's room?
He
I mean,
starts screaming.
it's all one room, but they all go
Yeah.
see Craig because he starts yelling, and then he like spits out an apple.
Yeah. And they start praying over him.
And then the twins are like, I can't remember my prayers. I can't remember my prayers. And they start blaming the sister.
Mm-hmm.
Or Thomason. And then he's like choking on an apple and they like get it out of his mouth. And then he starts like screaming about how much he loves Jesus. And
but
then,
in like, not in like the, I love Jesus, but like, I love Jesus.
Yeah.
Sort of way.
Like, yeah. It was a wild moment. Watch the movie. It's buck wild.
Yeah.
Thomason is the dad's name Thomas. The dad. I'm just gonna keep. It's the dad Thomason, Mercy, Jonas, and
remember
Craig.
what the parents' names are. The mom's name's Catherine, I think.
I assume the dad's name is Thomas because I feel like they named kids after fathers. Anywho, the dad takes Thomason outside and is just like, "Are you a witch? Are you a witch?" Yada yada yada, and she's like, "No, it's not me. It's those creepy ass twins that you guys birthed." And then the mom goes, or like he like tries to like take her back in or something, and then he ends
Doesn't he like? I thought he like boarded her up in the shed with the twins
but he tried to like go back in to like get her to snitch on the kids to the mom, and then he takes all the kids and shoves them into the spooky hut.
Because he's like, "Tell me the truth," and Anya Taylor-Joy's like, "You sold my mom's cup and then you didn't tell her about it," and then he's like, "Oh no, you don't talk to me like that. This is Puritan times and I'm a man."
Yeah. And he boards up all of his children with the goats. It's the middle of the night, super creepy. You hear like a yucky squelching sound, which is like my least favorite word. And then the kids like look up and there's a witch eating a goat, and it's like, ah!
Mm-hmm.
And then it's morning. Just like that.
Well, you also forgot a second thing that happens that evening where the mom wakes up and she walks out, and Caleb and the baby, who are both dead, are sitting like in the corner.
Yeah, and she gets pecked at by a raven or a crow.
Yeah, because she thinks she's breastfeeding the baby, but it's really a crow. And Caleb's like, "I got this cool book. Do you wanna read it?"
Ugh,
yeah,
it's creepy. And then it's the next morning, and the barn door is broken, like the boarded up net, broken, shattered, wrecked. Animals are dead, like, all throughout the yard. The dad comes out and is like, "What the fuck? What did you do?" And then a goat comes around and, like, stabs him. The evil goat
gets him. Yeah.
comes out and kills him. And then, the twins are just dead, right?
I don't remember if they, like, explicitly say they have died, but I'd assume they're dead.
Anyway, then the mom comes out. Her and Thomason fight. Big spooky moment. Thomason kills her mom in self-defense, in Thomason's defense.
Mm-hmm.
Kills her mom, and then just, like, goes and falls asleep at a table. And then wakes up, and it's nighttime. And she goes out to the spooky barn, and there's the goat, and she asks it to talk to him, and he asks if she likes butter and fine dresses, and if she wants to live deliciously, and if she can sign her name, and she can't, and he's like, "I'll guide your hand," and Matthew and I decided that is in fact entrapment.
That we don't know what entrapment is, but that feels like the closest we've gotten.
And then the goat tells her to, like, strip, and they go into the woods, and then she flies up, and she becomes, there's, like, a group of spooky witches around a bonfire, and then she, like, flies up into the sky, because she is now the
The witch.
She's the witch of the woods. We did it.
I think that is the closest we've ever gotten in a synopsis. Granted, there's not a lot to this movie. But
there is not a lot to this movie. They can't all be Twilight New Moon.
No. Well, Twilight New Moon has an extra 30 minutes for content.
That's fair. And that 30 minutes is real just lore heavy.
Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of synopsized the movie a little bit. You think it's a good time to go to a hydration station?
I really do.
Hello, and welcome to Hydration Station, the part of the show where Matthew has a 24-ounce bottle of water, and he's going to chug it.
He's going to chug it.
And we're not leaving until this bottle is empty.
I'm ready. I'm going to narrate.
Okay.
Go. And he's sipping. He's drinking. It's honestly, you're going a little faster than I thought you would. Don't forget to open your throat. Good. He's got a third left. A fourth left. Keep going. Oh, he had to take a little break. Wow. Took a little break. We're back. Back to chugging. I believe in you. Go. It's the last bit. Go. 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 Drink. 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 And that's how you drink responsibly, folks.
I don't feel good. This is bad. Water isn't good. This was Hydration Station. I'm so sorry. Hydration Station. We have synopsized. Now.
Yes.
Who do you feel like is the witch of the film? Like, who's the title referring to?
I think the title is referring to Thomasin and, like, her journey of, like, becoming the witch. Is the question... I don't want to jump ahead. Is the question who's the witch or who's at fault?
So...
Are we asking both?
We're gonna ask both of those, but yeah, I wanted to preface that with who is the witch.
The witch, in my opinion, is Thomasin reaching her potential.
Okay.
And starting the cycle over. I do think if there was a sequel, and it's set, 20 years in the future, it's gonna be her grinding up some baby bones to look young again.
Okay. That's fair.
Who do you think the witch is?
I think the witch is the friends we made along the way.
I also thought that it maybe could have been the mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the mom brought this on herself. Not brought this on herself. A lot of bad shit happens to the mom, and I do feel bad for her.
Yeah.
But part of me thinks that, like, maybe in, like, the hysteria of, like, losing
the...
like, her, like, family in England, like, losing that space...
That
I would be interested to, like, kind of delve into, like, maybe she kind of brought this stuff with them. Is
a silver wine glass in any way glass cup? It's not glass if it's silver. But is a silver cup in any way like a symbol for witches? To where it could be like implying that her mom is in fact a witch, was a witch before this?
Cups are in tarot, but I don't know. I should have maybe done research before we talked.
It's okay.
About this.
I literally didn't think about that till this very moment. So,
which would maybe make sense as to why she was so concerned about it. Did the cup go missing before the baby?
Yeah, I want to say...
The real witch was the cup.
Oh my god, we cracked it open. But yeah, I remember at one point in watching the movie thinking, like, there was something that made me think they were implying that the mom had done something with witchcraft before. But I don't remember why I thought that.
Yeah. And I mean, silver, because it was a silver cup.
It was a silver wine cup.
Silver has a lot of, like, magical connections to, like, purification and, like, keeping things good. So if it was, like, a talisman or something that was, like, keeping things going, and then it leaving the farm would kind of make sense as to why things were going bad.
Yeah. Okay. So we solved that mystery.
Solved it. Got it in one. We fucking did it. I'm so proud of us.
So yeah, the next question is, who do you feel like is at fault in this movie?
Probably the dad. I feel like a lot of this shit wouldn't have happened if he had just, like... Because, like, there's this one scene where he's, like, crying in the rain, and a lot of, like, wood chopping in this film. I don't think we highlighted just how much they chop wood.
There's at least 3 scenes.
Which, why aren't they selling that?
There's at least 3 scenes of the dad just chopping wood for, like, a good 5 minutes.
But in one of the scenes, it's raining, and he's, like, crying, and he's, like, damning his pride or something. So, honestly, I think it's his fault. Like, if he didn't move his family away from England, I don't think any of this shit would have happened. They wouldn't have been surrounded by woods to have a baby stolen from.
For sure.
Who do you think is the bad guy?
Mercy. She's way too creepy. She's friends with Satan. It's her fault. She was playing with forces she didn't understand. And if Jurassic Park taught us anything, you gotta ask yourself, should we? Not just could we?
Yeah, she was creepy. The twins were unsettling the whole time.
Well, she looked, I don't know if it was just the costume, but Mercy looked like a 40-year-old woman dressed up as a small child.
She looked older than Anya Taylor-Joy for sure. Yeah. No, that's really fucking fair. It was creepy. Ugh. Creepy twins.
Creepy twins.
Yeah, I'm interested to look. I should have read, like, I was just tired last night.
It's okay. We watched it at, like,
read, like,
midnight, and it was an hour and a half.
I'm interested to read the synopsis and see if the cup had more meaning than my tired brain was allowed to attribute it to. Because, yeah, there was a lot of cup talk, a lot of wood chopping, and
yeah, just a lot, but also not a lot.
Yeah.
So, the next big question is, were they all just tripping on moldy corn?
I mean, maybe. I think molds can do some funky stuff to brains.
Isn't there, like, a theory that the witch hysteria in Salem was because they ate moldy bread or something?
I have no idea. That sounds right, though. I haven't been to Salem yet. I can't confirm anything.
Yeah, I should. If anything, I should be the one that knows that because I was the one that researched Salem.
That's another interesting thing. God, I need to just learn about stuff.
The witch.
Where's my old childhood wonder?
Yeah, the witch is a real thinker of a movie.
It is. It's creepy.
It definitely, like, lives in the same place as, like, Midsummer, which makes sense because they were, like, produced by the same production company. But it's very much in the land of, like, super artsy thriller, not necessarily horror, but, like...
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very suspense-driven, very...
like...
quick pace. I feel like it didn't feel like a long movie. Except from, like, the wood chopping bit. That part, like, it felt long. Every time he started chopping wood, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a bit. And then it was. I would say it feels like, and I'm prefacing this with it feels like he's chopping wood for at least 10 to 15 minutes in this movie. And when the movie's only an hour and a half long, that's a lot of time committed to chopping wood.
That's a lot of real estate.
Without a lot of payoff, aside from, like, the wood falling on him when the goat kills him, there's really not a lot of reason for the wood chopping to happen on screen.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. uh,
Oh man.
but yeah. So this brings us to another fun segment that I just thought of in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and that segment is called "What Hat Was Best." And this is a segment where we take time to shout out the best hats of the movie, because there were
I think we both agreed what the best hat
mhm.
was.
And which is really sad because it's like maybe 2 minutes into the movie.
Yeah. If you're watching this movie for hats, you can turn it off after like the first 5 minutes.
But in this hat's defense, this movie starts out with like 100 hats in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then you only see like 6 people the rest of the movie. And one of them's a goat.
Yeah. And you don't...
Can't put a hat on a goat.
Unless he's in his human form. Which you see very briefly, but you don't see if he's wearing a hat, so can't confirm.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best hat is for sure the guy who's judging them at the beginning of the movie on the far left of the screen.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I feel like this is such a good movie to watch for October.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely the vibe.
Yeah, it's definitely the vibe. Go take your family into the woods and just let them get picked off bit by bit.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes literally.
From a scary goat. Yeah. From a goat and a honestly, just like a nice little commune of women living in the woods trying to live their best lives. Mm-hmm. The real question is, Matthew, would you sign the book?
I mean, I can go to the store and get butter. I don't have to make a deal with Satan for butter. Let's see. So, okay. Let's establish you sign the book. What the movie posits is you get butter, you get a nice dress, and then you fly in the woods with some women.
Whilst naked.
I don't think that's enough of like, I mean, I could get butter, I could get a dress. I mean, the flying in the woods naked, I don't think I could do that on my own. I've never tried. But I don't think so. So I'm going to have to pass on this one. What about you?
I would sign the book 100%. You could keep the dress and the butter. I just want to fly naked in the woods. That sounds cool as hell.
That's fresh as hell. So, to kind of wrap this up, I'm going to ask you a big question.
Okay, I'm here. I'm ready.
Is this movie better than The Village?
Yes, 100%. I hated The Village.
Correct. But no, for real.
Oh my god.
For reals, to end this, what are your final thoughts on The Witch?
Honestly, I think it's a great Halloween movie, especially if you like spooky without like horror or gore. Because there's really not, like, aside from like grinding up the baby in the beginning,
and then
it's really tame as far as like modern gore goes.
It's not a Saw movie.
Yeah. But you really want to get into like that like Halloween feel. Hell yeah, watch The Witch. Hell yeah. What about you, Matthew? What are your last thoughts? Final words before a goat whispers in your ear about butter and fine dresses.
So I think that this movie, it's short enough to where I didn't feel like it was a slog. It was nice. I don't know. Nice to look at isn't what I want to say, but the cinematography was good. It was very artsy. I would say give it a watch. You know?
Yeah.
If not just once, then what? I don't know what I was saying there. But sorry, the witch got me.
Watch it.
Yeah, just
or
watch
don't.
it.
We're not your mom.
Watch it at least once. I think is what I was trying
And
to
if
say.
you don't, not much is gonna change.
Yeah. You can always go buy butter.
Don't sign any books.
If a goat if a goat tries to sell you butter by signing its book, say no.
Oh man.
Okay.
So this has been
Rhetorical Magic Cocktail Hour.
Hell yeah.
If you would like to follow us on social media, you can do so at Rhetorical Magic. If you would wish to send us an email, you could send it to rhetoricalmagic@gmail.com.
That's not our email.
I don't know. It's really hard to think while doing that. So I never know what I'm going to say.
Your brain the whole time is just like, don't do anything but whisper.
It's just like whisper. But yeah, be good to one another. Eat your butter. And like we say at the end of every episode, clink,
Clink.
Hello, and welcome to Rhetorical Magic Cocktail Hour. My name is Matthew, and my favorite fuck. I goofed it up. Okay, take two.